What is up, guys? Sorry for not uploading again because I was working on the video on repairing an iPhone 6s, but that project ultimately failed because I punctured the battery during the project and it fucking sucked. So yeah, I'm going to make a collection video for now, and that video will be delayed for 2 to 3 weeks. So please subscribe to be notified, and you can watch that video as fast as it comes out. So yeah, please subscribe and like this video and share it to your friends if you want, if you liked it. Thanks for watching, and here I'm going to present you of my Apple collection. So let's start with the oldest iPhones. Here we have 3 iPhone 2Gs. This is an 8 gig one running iOS 1.1.4. That's dead pixels on the screen. As you can see here, the mark. It's on, as you can see here. So here is an iPhone 2G. It's a 4 gig one. This one's running the SwitchBoard firmware. Let me boot it up for you too. This should be SkankPhone, sorry. So here's a 16 gig one. It's a 2.2.1 iPhone. Here's the back. And now let's move to the 3G devices. Here we have an iPhone 3GS. It's a 16 gigabyte. It's running SwitchBoard. This one's the SkankPhone firmware. This is the iOS 1.1.3, side-loaded with iOS. Here's an iPhone 3G, 16 gigs, running iOS 2.0. Here's an iPhone 3GS, 32 gigabytes, white, running iOS 3. So here are my iPhone 4 devices. So let's start off with the iPhone 4s. Here's a black iPhone 4 16 gigs running iOS 7. Here's an iPhone 4S running iOS 5.1, 5.1.1, 16 gigs. Here's a iPhone 4 running iOS 5.1.1, 16 gigs. It's a white one. And here's an iPhone 4, 32 gigabytes, running iOS 4.3.3. Here's a 4S running iOS 5.1, 16 gigs. It's a white one. Now let's move on to the iPhone 5 devices. Here I have an iPhone 5 running iOS 6.0, 32 gigabytes is a black one. Here's an iPhone 5, it's a white one, 16 gigs, running iOS 6.0.1. Here's an iPhone 5S running iOS 7.1.4. It's a 16 gig gold one. So now let's last move on to the iPhone 6 devices. This is iPhone 6S. iPhone 6, 128 gigabytes, iOS 9.3.1. Sorry that my mom's talking in the background. Here's an iPhone 6S. It's a 64 gig, iOS 9.3.4. It's a silver one. These both iPhones are silver. Here's a rose gold iPhone 6s running iOS 11.0.1, which currently is the one that I fucked up in the video that I was trying to make. So yeah, there's that. So now let's move on to the iPod. So let's just turn these iPhones to the back. Let's start with the iPod Touches. Here's an iPod Touch 1. It's a 16 gig running iOS 1.1.2. Here's an iPod Touch 3. It's 32 gigs running iOS 5.1.1. I'll have an iPod Touch 2 32 gigs soon. I'll do a video on it once it comes. I ordered it online. And yeah, stay tuned for that too. So here's an iPod Touch 4, 8 gigs running iOS 6.1.6. Here's an iPod Touch 5, the one without the camera, 16 gigs running iOS 6.1.3. Here we have an iPod Touch Blue, 6, 32 gigs running iOS 10.3.3. Now here are my iPod Classics. Let's start with the newest. It's a 160 gig iPod Classic 7th gen. It's a black one. Here we have a black iPod Video, 30 gigs, sorry. Here we have an iPod Photo, the monochrome version. You see it's monochrome. It's 40 gigabyte, not the U2 one, the normal white one. Here's a 3rd generation white one. That's a 40 gig one. And here, finally, we have an iPod Classic 1st generation, 5 gigabytes. And now we move on to the other iPods. We have an iPod Nano. No, this is an iPod, what do we call this again? iPod Mini. iPod Mini 2nd generation. This is a blue 4 gigs one. And here's an iPod Shuffle. It's a 2 gig red one, the 4th gen. To keep it, it's still sealed because I want to keep it for collecting. Here I have an iPod Nano 3rd generation. Sorry for my little sister screaming, but this is a black 8 gig one. Here's a pair of AirPods. Yeah, a normal white pair of AirPods. Here's a 512 megabyte, Jesus Christ, megabytes. iPod Shuffle 1st generation. It still works. So you see here. Well, I guess there's just no power. Yep. So now we move on to our iPads. I only have 3 iPads. Here's an iPad 2 running iOS 6.1.3 that I use daily. It has the Apple leather smart case. Okay, my collection is getting a little too big. So here's what it looks like. At last, we have an iPad 1, 16 gigs, running iOS 5.1.1. It's it's a normal Wi-Fi one, so you can see here. And here's a Wi-Fi 64 gig white one. So yeah. And also, the last thing is that I have this iPod video that's still its original box, which I'll pull out for you right now. And here it is, as the original box and stuff, so I'll pull it out for you. And let me take away the receipt. I don't want to leak other people's info. Mommy! Sorry, my little sister left me myself. So this is the cover, the sleeve of the box. And here is the receipt, but I will show it. And here's the iPod itself. It's a iPod 5.5 gen. It's an 80 gig one. So you can see here. Beautiful. And this is the package. This is the place where you store the accessories. So I'll put the stuff back right now. And yep. And the device I'm filming this with is an it's an iPad Pro 9.7, 128 gigabyte space gray, running iOS 11.1 developer beta. So yeah, this is basically pretty much it, guys. Thanks for watching and peace out. Like and subscribe. Bye.